Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Y'all, I'm excited because I want to go ahead and talk housewives. And so, listen, first things first, Garcelle Beauvais, she is leaving Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's watch.
Hey guys, so I have some news. I've decided to leave Beverly Hills. It's been a wild ride. I mean, some amazing things have happened and some hard things have also happened, but it's been a ride nevertheless.
All right, so she goes on to say that she has two boys entering their last year of high school. One of her sons has a modeling career that she wants to be a part of. She says that she is a working woman in Hollywood. She's a writer, she's a producer, she's an actress, and so she has projects coming out that she wants to focus on. She was giving thanks to her supporters and Andy Cohen and Bravo and NBC Universal and the network and the ladies, of course, her co-stars, even though they called her boring on the reunion trailer, and she went and stormed off behind the scenes talking about, I can't trust none of these hoes. She said, these hoes ain't loyal. I can't trust y'all, is what she said. Is that one of the reasons why she's leaving? Only one could speculate. But listen, she said, though, that Andy Cohen made sure to let her know that there was an open door policy in regards to her coming back and maybe popping up or rejoining the show. And so it's a very interesting situation. Listen, for me personally, Garcelle never had a pertinent storyline. She never had a standout, impactful storyline. However, what did make her impactful, I think, was the fact that she was the first Black housewife onto Beverly Hills. So that was really cool, number one. And number two, I feel like she was always asking the questions that we, the viewers, wanted answers to, right? Even when sometimes it was overkill and annoying, like her fixation on Morgan Wade, but that's a different story. Listen, on a personal note for Garcelle, I feel like she did the right thing and she milked the opportunity for everything that it was worth. She has a first look deal with NBC Universal and she's directing and producing these movies with Lifetime, and she's on Survival of the Thickest onto Netflix, and you know, she was appearing on The Real. She was a host on there. And so I feel like after Housewives, I mean, she really took that publicity and ran with it, okay? Took that baton and ran to the finish line. And so I'm super proud and excited for her. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation in the comments down below. All right, Angela Oakley and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is what I really want to get into, and I'm going to try to be quick about the situation, but it's kind of a lot of information. So listen, Angela, okay, the one with the 99 O's. Those are Shamia's words. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get a screenshot. That's her husband, Mr. Charles. Okay, wait. Angela. Okay, that's Angela. Formerly Angela Reed, now Angela Oakley, is married to Charles Oakley, the basketball player now. I don't really know who Angela is. She's a financial consultant, and it seems like she's using her money, her husband's money, to invest in these properties where they're kind of flipping them and making money, right? She's married to Charles Oakley. I don't know a lot about Charles, but from what I see and from what I hear and read and things of that nature, he's a huge NBA legend. I believe was with the New York City Knicks for 10 years and was with the Chicago Bulls. And I think I heard somebody say that he used to play with Michael Jordan. So he's a celebrity. He's a really big deal. And he is married to this lady right here, Angela. Okay. Now listen, in their intro scene that we got to see this past week, it was very suspect, I shall say. Okay. She told this story about Madison Square Garden, and I don't know, in my soul, it just did not sit right. All right, let's watch.
2017 with Madison Square Garden, that was a very, very rough time. Charles was attending a game in New York. The owner does not like Charles and called security to come escort him out. And we were newly married, and he needed to heal, and I couldn't heal him. During this time, I was just like, you know what? We're gonna try to work through this at a distance. And we did live separately. So us just recommitting to one another, I feel like is important at this moment.
None of that made sense to me. None of that made sense to me. I'm trying to figure out, how does the Madison Square Garden incident correlate to y'all living separately? And then she goes, he needed to heal and I could not heal him. So we live separately and now we are recommitting ourselves to one another. What did he need to heal from? I'm just a bit confused at the situation. So I decided I need to do some research. Okay, P.I. Aaron is on the case. What the hell is going on? I want to get a timeline, a rough estimation of what the hell is going on. So according to Wikipedia, they got married in 2016, right? The Madison Square Garden incident happened in 2017. Okay, so married in 2016, and then this happened in 2017. Hold on.
Nice entry pass, and Jordan. Right now, everybody looking over there. Apparently, there's a
Charles Oakley over there, Mike.
Fight in the stands. As Charles Oakley is involved in something. They need security in a big way. Security is there. Oakley now being taken off. And this is an ugly thing to see about it.
Did y'all see Charles being violent? According to my research, Charles Oakley went to Madison Square Garden and sat 4 rows behind Knicks owner James Dolan. Oakley was forcibly removed from the arena after allegedly acting aggressively towards security. He was charged with 3 counts of assault and criminal trespass and released on a desk appearance ticket. Dolan claimed that Oakley was abusive, disrespectful, and possibly intoxicated. He accused Oakley of using angry, nasty language with racial and sexual overtones. Dolan announced that Oakley was banned from Madison Square Garden, though not necessarily for life. And then soon after the incident, the Madison Square Garden senior VP of security, Frank Benedetto, was fired. Okay, a whole situation. And so that's what happened. But what did he need to heal from? That still don't explain what he needed to heal from. My whole thing is y'all spent 7 minutes on how Shamia met Gerald and how she sat on his toilet and was funking up his bathroom. And then the second time they hung out, he had the wipes and came prepared. And then they got engaged and had a baby and got in love. However, we only get 30, 45 seconds of that little Madison Square Garden incident, and he needed to heal and they needed to live separately. We only get 45 seconds, 30 seconds on that. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to do it for me. So then I'm doing more research. I'm like, okay, look into the Madison Square Garden. What about that did he need to heal from? Unless she's alluding to alcoholism. But that to me is just scratching the surface, okay? Because the owner did say he was intoxicated. But listen. So I'm like, how many children they got? Okay, what's going on with the children, child? Angela stated, and I quote, I have Amari, who's 24. It goes from oldest to youngest, I'm assuming. She says, I have Amari, who's 24. Avon, who's 11. Charles has Charlie Jr. No age was listed. And then they share Arlie, who's 7. Okay. So if it's going from oldest child to youngest, right? Angela has the 2 oldest. They both share the youngest, who's 7. If this was filmed in 2024, then their youngest child was born in 2017, I'm assuming. But then you have Charlie Jr., a child that's not Angela's biologically. And I'm assuming if the ages are descending in descending order, Charlie Jr. is between the age of 11 and 7. He's between the ages of 11 and 7. I got that right? Huh. Okay. So I'm like, well, what's going on with that? Did he have another wife? Like, what's going on? So I go to his Wikipedia page. According to Wikipedia, it only lists 1 wife. It says on July 30th, 2016, Charles Oakley married his wife, Angela Reed. Okay, so where did Charlie Jr., like, how did that situation come about? Well, this clip of the Wendy Williams show from September 23rd of 2020 just dropped in my lap. And it's quite interesting. Let's watch.
My friend Charles Oakley was sent home last night. Well, you know, it's very difficult to dance when you're tall. You know, and I guess they got the tallest dancer they could for him. Charles, welcome home. Suzanne, I was at a party with he and his wife one time.
Yes.
And when I was leaving and, you know, getting myself together, gathering my belongings. So I said goodbye to Charles, and then she came over and said goodbye. And she gave me a hug, and then she whispered in my ear, she said, can I tell you something? I said, what? She goes, Wendy, it's only a baby.
Huh? Come again? Pardon me?
Oh.
You can work this out.
Say what now?
And I looked at her like, has this ever happened to you? So she said yes. I said, did you work it out? And she pointed over to Charles and said, yes. I said, well, then you're more forgiving than me. And kept on going. But the whole, like I don't even remember getting in an elevator to go downstairs to get in a car. And like, my mind is like, wow. Yeah, people put up with that mess.
Not you.
We all know what happened with Wendy Williams, okay? The Kevin Hunters of it all, the Sharina Hudsons of it all, the baby Journey. Hey, Journey. Okay, remember when Wendy sat up there in her purple chair talking about some, hey, Journey? That was real petty. That was nasty work. Listen, I think we know how Charles was healing. Okay? I think it was with a woman that wasn't Angela. And I think he was healing even further with a child, not from his wife. Allegedly. This is just my rough calculations. I don't really know, child. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Child. And to be honest, I think Charles Oakley is still healing till this day. Okay? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.